Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome back to Ars Magica with myself, Lewis. I hope you're all good. Today we're going to be looking at some of the cool spells that can be found throughout the world of Ars Magica. Now please note I'm not going to be showing you any of the rune combinations for these guys, you're just going to have to go and locate them yourself. Makes it more fun that way. Now the first guy we're going to look at is called Furnace Touch. Now how this works is directly like a furnace. For instance, diamond here, if we're put in a furnace, would be smelted and turned to diamond. This works exactly the same, but all we have to do is literally just give it a little tap, like that. And that will produce one diamond. Very nice. This also works for things like ice. If we clicked on this, it would change it to water, and vice versa with certain different objects. Pretty cool. Now remember in the last episode we went through the 3 different types of spell. We have diminished, normal and augmented. Diminished being the less powerful, only taking 10 mana, and augmented being the more powerful, taking 200 mana. We also have normal, which is 40 mana. You can see that I'm currently level 20, so I have a mana pool of 3,141, which is quite nice. I've also brought along some epic mana potions, just in case we do run out of mana, but we shouldn't do. 3,141 is quite a lot of mana. There we go. Now the next spell we're going to check out is called Growth, and this guy here is pretty cool. How it works is basically if there's an area that can have stuff grown on it, by clicking this guy on it, it will grow some bits and bobs, just like that. Now remember we can also change ourselves to the normal spell by clicking the C key, and note the little ball in the bottom will change to the little circular blob like that. And if we clicked, say, for here, it would do all 4 at once. There we go. And if we made our way all the way over to the augmented version, which cost 500 mana, the chances are that would fill a much larger space. Remembering we can't actually use the augmented spells at the minute because I'm not able to do that. I will be showing at the end of the video though how we can acquire the augmented section. Now the next spell we're going to look at is called Mark, and this one's really cool. Some spells throughout Ars Magica are not a one-click wonder. You do have to charge them, for instance this one. Now you hold down right click, and what this guy will do is charge up just like this, and then wherever you're pointing, kapow, it will create a mark. So the mark on this one has now been cleared because I was demonstrating it earlier. If we click again, it's going to put mark set. So this mark is now set right here. And say we went off wandering around the world, collecting all our ores, visiting all these really cool well-generated areas looking for more scrolls, and then we decided we want to get home. What we would do is we would use the recall spell. And this guy is pretty cool. All you do, hold down, charge it up, let go, and kapow. It will take us straight back, well, close enough to where we marked the original area. Quite nice. And also bear in mind this guy has no mana cost, and that goes for all of the 3 different types of spell casting abilities, diminished, normal and augmented, which is pretty nice. Mark is the same, except it has 2 mana cost for all 3 of them. So very cheap and very cool how that guy works. Now the next one we're going to look at is called Dig, and how this guy works is exactly as it sounds pretty much. Just if we put ourselves to diminished and click, we're going to knock away 1 block at a time, just like this. Set the wall free. There we go. Now if we changed ourselves to normal, bear in mind the little ball at the bottom, we're now in normal mode, and click, we're going to use more mana, but we'll dig down a much larger area. So as soon as we had the augmented version of it, we'll be able to dig at a much further rate. Now bear in mind with this spell, it does depend on the items that you're actually digging through. So it does note here, mana cost increases based on block type. Values above represent the base cost. So the diminished cost of 2.5 mana is a base cost for what you're digging. If you is digging something that has a much higher cost to it, i.e. diamond blocks, you would end up using a lot more mana. Cool. Now the next one we're going to look at is called Firebolt. Now remember in the first episode we looked at Arcane Bolt. Well, this is the same kind of thing, but obviously we're going to be using fire. So I'm going to knock down some of these little guys here, and we're going to blast away at them in the regular diminished mode, like this. Kapow. Sets them alight, sends them burning and whatnot. Now if we changed ourselves to augmented, like this, and fired away, we're going to be doing a lot more damage to these guys. And the chances are I'm about to die very soon. Nope, we're good. So let's cane away at these guys with our fire. Ooh, little miss just there. Kapow. Now obviously bear in mind as well that if we had the augmented version of it, we would be doing a lot more damage. But we'll get that very soon. There we go. Spiders down. Let's go back. Cool. Have some hearts, thank you very much. So, the next spell we're going to check out is called Blink. Now this is really cool, and this is basically the spell that everyone knows. You know, you played WoW, you've played League of Legends, you know what Blink is. So all we do is click and kapow. We'll blink in that direction. Pretty nice. Oh, we blinked into a hole. Let's see if we can blink out. Kapow. There we go. Very nice. And now I've lost all my stuff. There it is. There you are. Cool. So that's blink. Now the next spell we're going to look at is called Summon Fire Elemental. Now some of the spells that are available throughout this, you can summon items, e.g. this one here. And with some of the other spells, you can actually create like auras around you, armors and whatnot to kind of protect you from all the evil beings that are out in the world. If we just click on the ground here, we're going to make this really cool little guy here, this fire elemental. And if you take note in the bottom left hand corner, the scroll is actually charging. So you can't just keep casting these guys around, you have to give it time. Now, time is also the basis of the different measures of the summoning. So bear in mind we have diminished, normal, and augmented. 3000 for augmented is amazing. And with these guys, what it means is if you did an augmented cost, it would mean that this guy would kind of last around a lot longer. Eventually they will die out, they're not here forever. And what they'll do is they'll just follow you around the world, helping you out and kicking zombies' asses for you, which is pretty cool. When you decide you don't want them anymore though, you need a new spell, and this guy is called Dispel. There we go. All we do, charge it up, and kapow! It gets rid of our fire elemental, just like that. Now the next spell we're going to look at is personally one of my favourite spells, which really kind of is not amazingly cool. You know, we're not firing down the wrath of Satan or whatnot, but what it does is it depletes the need for any type of... Oh, we got a zombie in there, just chilling out. Let's get rid of this guy first, and then I'll show you. There we go, he's gone. So what you would do with this guy is find a nice dark area, charge it up, and pow! There we go. Oh, it went a little bit far that time. There we go. Lights up the area nicely, just like that. Creates this cool little orb, lights it all up, and you just keep kind of firing away, sending these little guys around. And that way, you've never got to worry about using torches ever again. See? Really cool. These guys can be broken as well by just giving a little tap like that, and so on. There we go. Very nice. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, that's a lot of scrolls. It is a lot of scrolls, you know? Clogs up your inventory. And that's just kind of the starting amount of scrolls. If I show you on here the amount of scrolls that are available to yourself, you would be amazed. So let's scroll down. Scroll. There we go. Check all these guys out. Absolutely tons. And I'm not going to stop on one, because if I stop on one, the chances are I'll probably show the room, which is not going to happen. But you can see all the different types of scrolls and spells here. There are tons, and they all do different things. You have to go around hunting them down. It's all cool, and you know, they're just amazing. It's really nice. So what will happen is once you've got tons of these scrolls, you're going to be thinking to yourself, what can I do with them? Because, you know, I don't want an inventory clogged with scrolls. So what you'd make is called a scroll book, this guy here. And what you do with this is, as it says on here, open spell book with left shift and right click. So if we go over it just like this and left shift and right click, it'll open up our spell book like this, which is pretty cool. And how this works is we can take our scrolls like this and just drop them all in here. There we go, lots of scrolls and spells. Now this guy down here is quite cool, because how this works is like a hotbar. If you look in the top left hand corner, you can see the different spells that are available. There we go, lots of different spells all over the place. And what we can do with these guys is we can kind of change these around dependent on the spells that we actually want to use. At the minute we have the fire touch one, so we can change this around, move it over to say, we'll use blink, and there we go, now you can blink around, pretty cool. It's just an easy way of accessing all your spells, and that way it doesn't clutter up your inventory and whatnot. So there we go. Now I did say in the beginning of the episode we would look at how you manage to get the augmented version of spells. And to do this, what you need to do is venture around the world, and eventually you will find yourself an Ark Mages Tower. Now this tower is basically like a boss. You know, this guy in here is really hard, and it is noted that you probably want to be around about level 15 or 20 before you actually try and take him on, because he is a boss, you know, he is pretty hard to kill. But once you do manage to kill this guy, you will get what's called a Ark Mages, just here, let's spell it right, shall we? There we go. One Ark Mage Podium. And once you've got this, all you do, throw it down here like this. You can see this little cool book just here, opens up when you get near it. Some really cool effects in this as well. Although a minute ago I found a torch that's kind of hanging off here, but you know, that's fine. So walk over to it, right click, and augmented casting has now been unlocked. So now if we go to our spell book like this, select a more powerful spell. So what should we have? Let's have Firebolt. There we go. And now I'll move our self-proficiency to the augmented version of the thing, just like this, we can fire away and do far more damage than we normally would, which is pretty cool. Everyone likes that, don't they? This works with all the other types as well. Diminished, augmented, normal, such and such. Pretty cool times. There we go. Fire away. Augmentedness. And obviously that's going to do a lot more damage or have a different effect depending on the spell that you're actually using. Let's see if we can hit sheep. Pow! There we go. All the sheep's dead at once. If I show you with the normal and fire at one sheep, see if we can hit him from here. Yeah! Sets him alight but doesn't kill him. Whereas one shot with the amazing augmented killed 2 at once and set him alight. Really good, really good. Alright guys, well that is that for this episode. In the next episode we're going to be looking at some of the cool blocks that can be made and some of the different ways of actually harnessing magic around you. There we go, it's going to be cool times. But for this episode, that is it. My name is Lewis. I will see you soon. Have a good one, and goodbye.